So, I wanted to do this for a bit. I saw one of my friends do this. I will leave his link in the description down below to his channel. Go subscribe, please. You know, do it. But I saw him do this, and I thought, you know what? I'll do it myself. I'm going to rank every Dead Rising game, including the two DLCs for Dead Rising 2, Case Zero and Case West. Um, so yeah, we're gonna rank everything. We're gonna rank Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 2 off the record, Case Zero, Case West 3, and 4. So we're ranking every single game. And there's six. We're ranking from. Let's just do. I'm gonna do worst to best. So that's how we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna rank Case West and Zero kind of together because in my opinion, the Case Zero and West are kind of the same, and they remind me of the same thing, and I have same opinions on both of them. So we'll rank those together, but everything else we're gonna rank separately from 6 to 1. 6 being the worst, and 1 being the best. So let's go and get right into it. Starting off with we're doing this worst to best. So starting off, I have to do Dead Rising 4. I now okay, let me explain. Because Dead Rising 4 is a game that when I first played it, I wasn't like, I wasn't a fan to say the least. I've never been a fan of Dead Rising 4. It's solely because the game doesn't feel like it's better. I mean, they literally made this game worse than any of the Dead Rising games. The game has no, the story is not great. I thought that Frank West's character was just like they wanted to make him funny, like again, but they just couldn't. Because Dead Rising 1, he was an iconic character, but in Dead Rising 4, it just feels like he's not there to say the least. So he's not there. But I thought the game has some value to it, has a little bit of value. However, would I recommend buying this full price? Probably not. I would never recommend buying this game ever full price, um, just because this game is not fun. It's got not good story. The open world aspect is cool and all, but honestly, exploring the Willamette Mall and all that, like the Willamette Mall itself is cool, but I felt that the entire town of Willamette was just kind of there. It's not fun, and the game definitely feels very lacking to say the least. So I'm gonna put Dead Rising 4 at the worst, which is 6, awful. We move on to what is Dead Rising Case Zero and Case West. This is where I rank these two together into bad. Let me just say, they're not terrible. They're not the worst things in the world. However, I felt that these two DLCs for Dead Rising 2 didn't really hit the mark. And although yes, they're DLCs, and again, they're very short. They're shorter than the main game, Dead Rising 2, and off the record. But I think that the DLCs themselves, they were not bad. They weren't the worst, but they just didn't really have any value to them. I think I think Case Zero is definitely worse than Case West. At least Case West, it's Frank West in it, and it's cool and it's not bad. But Case Zero is just not the best. It definitely feels definitely lacking, and I thought the story of it was very boring, and I thought gameplay wise it was good, but it wasn't the best, and I didn't really enjoy playing Case Zero. Case West, I also didn't really enjoy, but I enjoyed it more than Case Zero. So that's where I would rank these two, which is number 5, bad. But we move on to 4, which is the okay tier. Now, okay means, it's not bad, but it's not good. So it's like in the middle. I'm going to put in okay Dead Rising 2. I like Dead Rising 2. Now, just to say, Dead Rising 2 as a zombie game, it's one of the best zombie games there is. But in terms of, ranking this in the Dead Rising series, it's just okay. I think that the game, it lacks the character that Frank was. The character of Chuck Green definitely feels weird. On top of that, I thought that having to deal with Katie and her Zombrex at the exact same time that you're doing other things such as saving survivors, going and doing main quests such as killing psychopaths and doing all these bosses and going around exploring the mall or exploring this, this area, it's it doesn't feel as great as Dead Rising 1. And also, I don't really like Chuck Green. Chuck Green, I thought, he's not. At the first, I thought he wasn't terrible, and I thought, what, he's kind of cool. I like him. It's whatever. But now, when I look back and I played it again, I was like, I don't know if I like him as much. I thought he was not. He didn't have any character. I thought his personality was boring, and him. I mean, obviously he's caring about his daughter, but I mean, it's like, he doesn't feel as badass and as funny as Frank West. So yeah, but I'm gonna put Dead Rising 2 in okay, number 4. Number 3, I'm going to put Dead Rising 2 off the record in the number 3 spot. I like it. It's a solid game. It's not great, but it's good. It's a good game. It's got Frank West in it, so better than I'm going to be honest, Dead Rising 2, with Chuck Green, not the greatest, but Dead Rising 2 off the record is pretty much Dead Rising 2. Just replace Chuck Green with Frank West. That's pretty much what Dead Rising 2 off the record is. Obviously, you got some story changes. You have to fight Chuck Green as a psychopath and everything like that. It's a solid game. Like it's a pretty good game. I think that the game, what it suffers from, I guess, is maybe it's just me, but I don't feel that Frank West is himself in this game. He's not what he was in Dead Rising 1, and he never will be again because they want to make him funny, but they just can't. But Dead Rising 2 off the record is a solid game. Of course, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Dead Rising 2. Just replace Chuck Green with Frank West. That's how I think of Dead Rising 2 off the record, which I like better. So I'm gonna put Dead Rising 2 off the record at number 3. And here's where it might get a little controversial here because we have Dead Rising 1 and 3 left. I'm going to put Dead Rising 1 into number 2, the great tier. I think Dead Rising 1 is it's a great game. It's a great game. I think that the game, it has character. I think if you look back and play it again, I recently just played through it again. It's never changed. I think that yes, although it does look old and it does feel kind of old with mechanics and shit, I think that what it definitely gets, what I think that makes this game amazing and great is Frank West. Frank West as a character is one of the best characters in the zombie world of genre. He is funny, he is badass, and he doesn't care. So I think that I think that Frank is a great character, and I thought that, all the weapons that you can use in this game are fun, but we're going to rank this now. Dead Rising 3, the reason I'm putting this at number 1 as my favorite Dead Rising game is because of the combos that you can do with weapons. I thought the combinations and combining weapons together, making a completely new weapon, is so much fun. It's so much fun, and it's fun to kill zombies in this game. It's fun to explore the world, and I thought that, although Dead Rising 1 it's a pretty big map, Dead Rising 3 just takes it to a whole nother level and just it elevates Dead Rising 1. And with it being the first Dead Rising game and the best Dead Rising game on the Xbox One, and being exclusively to Xbox One, it's definitely a game that doesn't get old. I thought the game had character. I do like Nick. Nick is a phenomenal character. Better than Frank West, though. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but he's a great character, and I think the story was interesting. I was captivated by the story of Dead Rising 3, and I love exploring the Dead Rising 3 world. It's so much fun, and I absolutely love it. So, yeah. But that's kind of where I'd rank it. Here's my tier list. What do you think of this? I am happy with it, of course. So let me know where you would put your Dead Rising games. I like these two, like this is obviously like Dead Rising 3 and 1 is kind of like the most people's favorites, I guess. Um, but obviously Dead Rising 1 is a lot of people's favorites. But in my opinion, I actually like Dead Rising 3 better. I think it's because it's more polished than Dead Rising 1, and it's got better mechanics than Dead Rising 1. So that's what I'll say. But let me know what you think. I am going to end off the video there. If you guys enjoyed, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing. But yeah, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.